Welcome to the MIPEX User's Guide for Advocacy, working with immigrants to improve integration. Immigrant-run organizations and NGOs that help immigrants often struggle to get up-to-date information on the integration policies in their own countries, let alone other countries. These organizations often don't have the information and the resources that they would need to produce policy recommendations that would actually improve integration on the ground. For that reason, the Migrant Integration Policy Index, or MIPEX, tries to provide this free public tool for advocacy organizations in order to learn about policies, assess their impact on integration, compare ideas across country, and ultimately improve integration for immigrants on the ground. Now, MIPEX identifies policy strengths and weaknesses in countries. That is, it looks where there are laws and policies to provide all residents equal rights, responsibilities, and opportunities. Go to your country profile. There you can see what policies are available and what policies are not. You can then see whether your country has followed different trends that we see in similar countries, in neighboring countries, or across Europe and North America. Most of all, MIPEX monitors policy changes so you can be up to date on the trends that might affect your country and on the proposals that might also have a major impact on immigrants' lives. Go to the country profile and see where your score has changed. Follow the timeline of ups and downs, proposals and withdrawals, and ultimate bills that have shaped a country's MIPEX score. You can then go to the particular policy area, and there you'll see what changed. We've also tried to collect a lot of information about why governments thought a change was necessary. It allows you to evaluate what was the objective for integration by changing a certain policy. What evidence actually motivated that change? Were there any European or international standards there? Were there any examples taken from other countries? And most of all, has government been using evidence to try and improve the policy in this area? Based on these results, you can open a discussion to debate whether those objectives really do promote integration. You can ask if the measure is justified, proportionate, and ultimately effective. You can call for public and independent evaluations to see whether these policies are actually working out in practice. For example, click on citizenship, and there you can see two major changes. The new Greek citizenship reform has drastically improved the legal conditions for immigrants and children born in Greece, whereas the proposed UK earned citizenship approach would undermine citizenship and long-term residence in the UK, which could seriously delay and discourage immigrants and local communities from investing in participation. Click on your country to see which trends and which changes are most affecting your laws and policies. Beyond the law, MIPEX also starts to look at implementation measures. You can look at what role equality NGOs have to help victims of discrimination and how strong national equality bodies are. You can look at whether government is encouraging immigrant political participation and supporting immigrant associations. You can look at whether government is encouraging immigrants to take up the opportunities available, for example, by providing them information or by supporting free courses and study guides. But obviously, you, as a civil society organization, have a lot of information about how implementation is working in your country. Be as rigorous as MIPEX in trying to systematize that information on the implementation of the policy and the feedback that you're receiving from immigrants or from local communities. For example, what kind of funds are actually available to implement policies? How do staff work within the administration to implement that policy? Have there been enough cases and jurisprudence in order to support that policy in practice? And what impact do immigrants see from the policy? Do they know of the policy? Are they interested in taking it up? And what obstacles do they encounter? Have there been many perverse and unintended consequences? Ultimately, these areas of law are made for human beings, and every person might not fit within the definition of the law. It is the role of civil society organizations to make sure that people don't fall through those cracks. So use MIPEX to look at where laws are in place and call for that 100% on a MIPEX score to be 100% implemented in practice. Also, you can encourage immigrants to use the opportunities in law by helping them go forward in court, or supporting them to know and use their rights through information campaigns.